Hi, this is Mike Brown, owner of Death Wish Coffee Company. Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast.
I love Jeff, but sweet and high. Whoop, Mr. Motorama Coffee and Spice.
Death Wish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast. With your hosts, the incredible Jeff and the amazing D-Man.
Okay, this one's a little weird.
Yeah.
We are standing right now in the midst of Empire State Tattoo Fest 2017.
New York State Empire Tattoo Expo.
Empire State Tattoo Expo Fest, whatever it is, yes. Right in the heart of Manhattan. Some of the biggest and best tattoo artists in the entire world are here this weekend.
Yeah, I've already seen some people roll through here that I recognize from your typical tattoo shows.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have been on, because reality TV with tattooing has just become crazy lately. Like there are so many. Look at all the work on that guy that just walked by.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Just nuts. Like,
wonder if he's gonna get like a bodysuit done.
Maybe he's halfway there.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for this event?
Madness.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yes.
Anxiety driven from caffeine.
Yes. And we're gonna hopefully be caffeinating every single person that walks through this
But
door.
I also expect the art is going to be through this roof amazing.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much we're going to be able to walk the floor. I know you're getting tattooed today.
In like an hour.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped. I can't wait.
By the legendary Matt Marocco.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll cut in a little bit of that too, because I'm going to be getting some video of that as well. So you can hear that it's getting, like, the crowds are getting bigger. Well,
it's not even a crowd yet. It's just the artists coming in, right?
It's just the artists and the people that they're bringing in to tattoo.
That's really cool.
And the crowds will start at 4. This one goes to 4 to midnight. Tomorrow is 12 hours.
Yep.
Noon to midnight. And then Sunday, again, midnight to 7. So.
And from what I hear, these guys party pretty hard.
Yeah, because they work hard, A lot of these guys are either doing a full piece for the entire day. Like myself, I'm going to be walking in there, and I'm probably going to be sitting in that chair for 6 or 7 hours.
I'm sure, the Comic-Cons that we've been to, it's a lot of reunions for these guys where they probably don't get to see each other that much except for these expos.
Totally. And a lot of these guys, some of the up-and-comers, some of the smaller shops that are coming to,
it's networking.
Show their stuff.
Yeah.
They're networking because they're rubbing elbows with, some of the biggest names in the industry, such as Paul Booth, and others that hopefully we're going to be able to meet and talk to ourselves. That's the goal.
Yeah.
We're also if you can see on our little GoPro here, hopefully you can see our backdrop in the background. We've got that set up. We're going to have a bunch of photo booth options. We're giving away tons of free stuff all weekend, including caffeine.
Yep.
Best drug in the world.
Yep.
And
the best legal drug in the world.
Hopefully we don't make these guys so crazy that they turn out some terrible tattoos.
No, that's what I want to happen. That's why I came.
Yeah.
That's the action.
Totally. Well, this is right before day one starts, so you can hear it in our voice. We're amped. Everything's set up.
I'm trying to keep energy down, keep it nice and mellow because I know it's going to be a long day.
It is true.
With lots of coffee.
Got a long day ahead of us.
Just, chatting.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
We'll tune back in at the end of today, and hopefully we'll have some stories to tell.
We now return to Fueled by Deathcast.
Well, day 2 at Empire Tattoo Fest. I actually missed you last night, D-Man. We were supposed to do our daily end of the day thing, and we never actually saw each other.
Yeah, but I like the split adventure. It's like watching one of those episodes where it's like, oh, these are these people doing this adventure, and these are these people doing this adventure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it was last night.
Totally.
You were off hanging with the
crew from Needleworks. Yeah. My buddy Matt tattooed me, and I don't know if
Jesus,
you can
I haven't.
see
Yeah.
On the GoPro,
Holy
but
crap.
I'll put up some pictures as we go too. But that took about 6.5 hours.
Dude, that looks so good.
It looks great. It definitely got
swollen
by the end of it. It was pretty tender, and I was having a lot of fun with those guys. I got to not only get tattooed by my best friend Matt, but also Billy, another artist at Needleworks, was tattooing another one of our good friends, John Imbo. So that was a lot of fun. And a lot of people coming up to the convention. Although I have to say, where I was, we were on like the 3rd floor of this convention hall in this hotel right in the heart of Manhattan.
Yep.
And you have to go up to like an auxiliary 3rd floor to where I was getting tattooed, where a lot of the tattoo artists are. But there's no signage for that. Like, you walk right into the tattoo convention, and they kind of funnel you towards the main floor, where a lot of like the most famous people are.
I had to like text you, like, where are you? And then as soon as you said upstairs, I was like, there's an upstairs?
Yeah, that really made me sad that like they're not touting that as much, because I don't care if you're the most famous tattoo artist in the world.
They think the bar is enough to draw people upstairs.
Yeah, but I mean, even that, there's so many cool tattoo artists, and there's so many cool things to look at. There's all new technology at this event too, which is really fun. It's not
I like
just
the fake hands everywhere.
Yeah,
people can like practice tattoo on fake hands.
You're practicing.
So
for those of you who don't know, a lot of people practice on fruit. You practice on grapefruit because it has the consistency of skin, kind of, but it gets you used to it.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you're about to go on skin, you're a little bit, you got that. But they make fake hands and fake arms that are much more. They're a little bit more expensive than a cantaloupe, but or a grapefruit, but they're better for it, that kind of thing. But there's all sorts of different. There's new machinery.
Yep.
All these rotary machines are just the quietest things in the world. And like those are all there. And there's this thing.
The quiet rotary machines are a bit disturbing, because when you're getting tattooed by one of those, all you hear is needles jamming into your skin repeatedly.
Totally.
Like, you don't even hear the machine.
And Matt was using at one point a grouping of 27 needles on me. At one time.
You did that to me too. That's fun.
Yeah, and there's another piece of tech that I thought was really cool. Is one thing, if you've never gotten a tattoo, that one thing that a tattoo artist has to do is not only tattoo on your skin, but whatever you're going to get, whether it's something that the artist has drawn themselves, or if it is a flash off the wall or something, they have to make a stencil.
Right.
And they have to print it out on a piece of paper that, the ink is wet, and they put it on your arm or your leg or wherever you're going to get it, and they position it, and then they work off that stencil.
Right.
And that's tough.
That's tricky, yeah.
That's tricky on paper. There's this new magic wand, which is crazy, where you can literally, it looks like a hair curler, and you literally just push it over your drawing, and then, or you can hook it up to your iPad or whatever, and it prints right from the wall. You just feed a piece of paper in one end, and it prints out the other, and like a piece of paper that has the ink on it and all that stuff.
Yeah, the
stencil paper, and it just prints it right out, full color. Mike Backus from Needleworks actually did it with his yesterday, and it was gorgeous the way it printed it out. It's really, really cool piece of technology, and that's what I
didn't see that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's really neat when you get to walk around a convention like this and not only see incredible artists making incredible art, but all of the new innovations in a field like tattoo, because a lot of people, you don't even think about all the stuff that goes into it and all the different, components that make it. So yeah, I had a really good time. I got to hang out there for, like I said, about six and a half hours. And that was pretty much the end of my night. But I know your night, we never hooked back up, because you guys actually went out and had some fun on the town.
Yeah, we went and got dinner. We got lost for a while. You can follow my Instagram stories and see us get lost all night, which is pretty fun. We went and had a really fancy dinner. I had the rarest piece of meat I've ever had. It was so good. But we went to this ice bar. And if you've never been to an ice bar.
I've never been to an ice bar.
Everything's made of ice. The bar, the seats. And it's this new hip thing.
It sounds cold.
It's very uncomfortable. but the thing about this place was that also the glasses are made of ice.
Oh, crazy.
So I finally understood why people go to these things, so they can smash their glasses. So I did. Apparently that's not what you're supposed to do, because after that, everybody started smashing their glasses, and the bartender was very upset.
Aw, well, at least you had a good time.
Yeah, it was great. The weird thing about this place, very strange, they make you put your phone in a locker before you go in.
Oh, because you can't take pictures, or they don't want to ruin your phone?
They don't want you to take pictures. They're trying to take like the phone out of the. You know what? It's dumb, because the first thing you want to do when you go in there,
take a picture.
Everybody wants to take a picture.
Yeah.
So you got to think, the average person who goes in there probably has about 300 something followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You get 100 people
right
in there a day. That's 300,000 pictures that were not taken because you make people stuff their phone in their locker.
The other side of that is this.
By the way, Taya and Alyssa cornered one of the owners and told him all about how he's missing out with those numbers. It was pretty
awesome.
funny.
The other side of that coin is though this ice bar that you went to is right in the hotel that we're in, the Hilton in Midtown.
Yeah.
And I mean, they don't need to really care about all that social presence because they're going to get people here. This is one of the biggest hotels in the city.
I don't know. I got in there. It was like, this is lame. I'm cold. I'm done. And I left before everybody else. I was waiting outside for everybody else to get done because I was like, yeah, I'm done here. Aww. This is it.
Well, we're here at day 2, though, so we're getting ready now to caffeinate the masses. I know
should be a really busy day today, right?
Definitely.
Because I feel like anybody who came yesterday was the artists and the people
that they were tattooing.
That they were tattooing. Yeah. And I feel like today is really the exhibition day.
Totally. Everybody's more comfortable in their space. Everybody's really working on a lot of like the bigger guys too. They would have started a piece maybe yesterday and now they're going to finish it up. So there's a lot more to see, a lot more to do. It is 12 hours long, noon to midnight, and we're hopefully going to be caffeinating everybody all day.
Wake the cup up!
And we're here at Empire State Tattoo Expo.
It's something like that.
And we're meeting all sorts of cool people, and you happen to be one of them. State your name, your favorite color, and your social security number.
So my name's Kevin Wilson. A lot of people know me as Kevin R.C. Wilson. My mom somehow blessed me with 2 middle names when I was born. So I run Sacred Tattoo in New York City, and I also happen to do a lot of rock and roll and metal photography.
So what came first, the photography or running a tattoo shop?
Running the tattoo studio came first. It was one of those things where I had been in the industry since the mid-'90s. I was kind of like a rebellious kid. Kind of seemed like the right thing to do, get out of home, try to like get in with a whole bunch of misfits and do stupid stuff that I shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, then you start getting older and you're like, wow, man, maybe I can kind of make a business out of this and actually start making money. And then you get serious and then you move to New York and realize how expensive rent is and you need to do it seriously. So I wound up going that route with it, and I've been doing it ever since. The nice thing is, and the photography came second, so what wound up happening with my photography is I wound up doing a lot of abandoned photography and architectural photography.
Oh, cool. I like that stuff.
So it was like, I dealt with so many people on a daily basis. The last thing I wanted to do is talk to more people. I'm like, all right, and kind of be a little bit of a recluse at the end of the day. I'd go out with some buddies. We'd do some abandoned photography, like break into abandoned psych wards and
that's
stuff.
Nice.
I'd just fall in love with architectural stuff. So I'd shoot, old churches and things, and I didn't have to talk to anybody. I could just like sit there and do my thing and zen out over it. So I wound up doing that, and then all of a sudden we have all these musicians that come into our studio to get tattooed and pierced, and they knew that I would do photography as well, and they'd be like, hey, so I know you do stuff in these cool places, so could we go into that like abandoned bowling alley that you went to?
Well, it's perfect for band photos.
Yeah.
Band photos are tough, right? Yeah. They're always like, it's really hard.
A tree in a graveyard.
Yeah. Someone's turning this way, another person's looking down,
We've been in that band photo.
They're all dumb, right?
Yeah, when you're on stage, people kind of know how to play it to the crowd, but when it comes to photos, everybody's awkward. Everybody's looking for direction. And I'm like, I don't know how to give direction to some of these guys.
So what's the trick? How do you get a good band photo?
So I've kind of learned, live stuff, they do what they do on stage, I kind of feed off the energy of what they do. And I'm like, I always try to go for the iconic shots. So that's the angle that I usually go for with that. But when it comes to shooting them off stage, a lot of times you tend to know the people personally at a certain level. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere. They don't see me as the camera. They kind of just see me as this goofy dude just like them. That we just wander around the city and grab some shots or break into abandoned buildings. So I'm like having like Monty Pittman from Madonna getting ready to go on tour, and all of a sudden we're like going through like broken windows in an abandoned psych ward to try to get into a bowling alley to take photos and
so
stuff.
Do you do that a lot? Like, you hit the road a lot, right?
I'm on the road a good bit, but my home base is New York.
So do you search for abandoned buildings is that like a hobby of yours as you're on the road?
The more I've gotten into shooting music, it hasn't been as of lately. Because you're taking so many thousands of dollars worth of camera gear into these places, and you could chance having something break. But if I am out on the road and like we have someone that's like, hey, look, the underground sub community is like, hey, this is how you get into this spot, you might want to check it out. This way it's a little bit easier, so that way people aren't just like, that building, I'm going to try to get in there, I don't know what could happen. So, you're a little bit more on the safe side of knowing the ins and outs, so you're not getting arrested.
Yeah, you ever deal with authorities?
So, I was with my buddy.
It's always a good answer.
We were photographing And it was funny. So it was my buddy AC Slade. I think you guys actually know AC. He's been drinking Death Wish as well.
Yeah.
So it was my buddy AC. He's actually in the Misfits now too.
Yep.
So it was him, our buddy Doug, who's FDNY. I probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry, FDNY. Cut that part. So it's us, and then Monty from Madonna. He also has a metal band, a side project. And we go up there, and we're in this bowling alley, and we're bringing lights and cameras and all that stuff.
Night.
And, we're just trying to, all right, cool, everybody's cool with each other. We're just going to have fun and make a day of it.
Right.
And we had already been there before, so we kind of scoped out the area. But this time I'm bringing big-ass lights.
Yeah, you're a little bit more belligerent about it.
Flash is kind of going off. I'm kind of acting like a dildo throughout this thing, whatever, no one's going to see anything. And all of a sudden we hear 2 cops pull up outside.
Oh, no.
And I'm like...
Lights flashing already, or
no lights flashing, but the guys are right out the window, and we can literally go like this and see 2 cops, and one's pulled this way and the other one's pulled this way, and they're just talking to each other. They don't know we're in there, or anything, and we're just like, so what do we do? We obviously can't leave until these guys are gone.
Right.
So we just kept shooting, just without the flash at this point. We're like, all right, well, we're just going to kind of do some casual stuff around here, and just kept on shooting. And an hour and a half later, they finally rolled out. But you could tell these cops were just dicking off. They were like, all right, well, nothing's going on in this small town. I'm just going to sit here and chat with my buddy while we're goofing off.
See, it wouldn't have been funny if they were secret lovers, and that's where they met.
All of a sudden, one cop getting into the back seat.
And you get the real good photos.
Some blackmail.
So you're traveling all over doing the rock photography thing. Do you work with people on the regular, or are you kind of freelance?
I do freelance stuff. I also work with Loudwire, pretty
nice.
popular magazine. So I shoot a lot of stuff for them. I just shot Iron Maiden with them when they came to town. Shot Metallica for them. Rumor has it Guns N' Roses in town next week. They're going to be playing the Apollo.
Oh, cool.
Fingers crossed I wind up getting it.
Awesome.
But, I'm only a couple blocks from there, so it's really easy for me to be like, hey, man, I got the bid on this one, because I could just take my camera and walk over there.
Right.
That one should be cool, too. You just kind of get these bucket list bands that you want to go after, but there are tons of bands that I have shot and are friends with, and then all of a sudden, I'll be at home and I get these random text messages from other musicians, and they're like, hey, so-and-so gave me your number, we're going to be in town, can you shoot for us? We like your style. And then I get linked up with management. Management runs multiple different bands, so it just kind of turned into this whole crazy wildfire, and I'm still riding this wave. It's almost 3 years of just shooting music.
That's awesome.
And I'd been shooting for many years before that, but all of a sudden it started with the very first show I shot was Jane's Addiction, because I was personal friends with Dave.
Oh, that's
cool. And he would come through our studio. A couple of our guys were on Ink Master throughout a couple seasons, so it was we were all cool with each other, and there was no egos or pretension or anything. It was let's just hang out, we'll figure things out, we'll wander around, and we made it work. And then all of a sudden it went from there to I actually like this. And then it turned into the next thing and the next thing, and then I started shooting for different magazines, and
that's awesome. Just a snowball.
Yeah, just snowballed.
That's awesome.
Those are almost the best situations.
Because it was organic. I wasn't trying to force the situation. We had these musicians that would come in and get tattooed by us, but they knew I did photography. I didn't try pushing the issue on them. And then all of a sudden the dynamic just kind of changed, where it was well, you're doing this stuff, just come out to the show.
No, I can imagine why those types of professionals would want to work with you, because you're not that sticky salesman type of character. Hey, can I take, if you hire me on blah, 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 blah. You're that guy who just happens to be a great photographer running a tattoo shop. And so they have that connection with you. And that sounds like the perfect setup.
And I try not to, and secretly in the back of my head, come on, we've all grown up to a lot of these bands. So secretly we're nerding out behind us. Man, can you believe that just happened? But they all poop in the same toilet. They're all getting their coffee from the same place and all that stuff. And you want to make sure, Death Wish. And you want to make sure that you treat them as human as they'd expect. So I think my angle is, I never take photos with musicians. You get a lot of people that
selfies?
No selfies. I can't do it. It's just not my thing. My whole deal is I want to make the musician look iconic.
Right.
Nobody cares about what I look like. Nobody would care if I posted my photo with them online.
Right.
So I'm what's that matter? And like I don't try to push to have everybody like sign my stuff and everything.
Right.
It's like, you know, there are certain musicians that I know very personally, and we'll work together on projects where like they'll sign something, but it goes straight to auction.
Nice.
So like, you know, with Dave,
right.
we did something for Bailey House charity auction. It helps people who are homeless living with HIV and AIDS and other chronic illnesses. So, you know, we worked together on a project where he signed something and it just went straight to auction. Like, I paid for the cost of printing and framing and all that stuff, and it's like you have to pay it forward, you know, like give it to people that actually like cherish that stuff. What am I going to do with it? Sit it in my bedroom or something? Like,
right.
It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And I think they see that as a non-threat. So they're like, all right, cool, this guy's not like a fanboy hang-around. Like, he's there to do a job.
Yeah, as soon as you ask for a signature, though, that veil drops,
It changes. And, and I've had so many people in the music industry, they look at me and they're like, man, can you believe this Punisher? That's all they're doing is they're showing up to the shows with photos that they've shot from me from other shows to sign this stuff. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like, I mean, 20 years from now, it would be kind of cool to be like, oh, I have these photos. But, you know, at the same time, I have these memories.
Right.
You know, I get into the shows for free. I can take my wife to shows and not have to worry about that. We have iconic memories together.
And that's awesome. That's what it's all about.
That's more valuable than having someone sign something.
Yeah, totally.
So what takes up more of your time? The photography or running the studio?
So I have a really good crew of people at Sacred Tattoo that work for us.
Yeah, I was checking out the site. I mean, it's really top-notch artists. Really top of the line.
Westwood, the owner, he's been around since 1989. He also has a tattoo supply company, Unimax, and he's like the staple of New York City. Like everybody in the industry knows this guy. He's helped so many people out. And the guy's been like my father all these years. Like I've worked for him so many years, and he's been very supportive of everything that I've done. So whether it's like running the tattoo studio and making it try to be that next level, because the industry's been evolving over the years, and you kind of have to keep stepping it up and making sure that you're evolving to
adapt or die, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's been very supportive of that, and then also my photography as well, he's been very supportive of, and he knows that we try to work the angle of like the music world with the photography, and like the musicians will come in and get tattooed, and I don't treat it like you'll have some people that post all the photos of the musicians that they tattoo because they want to charge a higher premium to present that to the clientele. You know, it's cool that we'll pull some people in at the same time, but the person that's walking in the door that has a 9-to-5 job that like is living paycheck to paycheck, that's getting tattooed, that's like worked for it, is equally as important as some musician walking through getting tattooed. So it's like, I don't want to treat it like some pizza shop where everybody's pictures plastered. Like everybody's tattoo is going to be the same. We value all of it.
That's awesome.
And I think that's kind of what's kept us around for so many years.
That's awesome. So what finds you here at Empire State Tattoo Expo? Are you here for the tattoo, the photography, or just here as a fan?
We're here for the tattoo convention for Sacred Tattoo and Unimax. We have a double booth upstairs. And our booth is more like a triple booth. You know, I guess the guys like us. But,
nice.
You know, we have this massive space up there, and I had some photos in my car yesterday. You know, I live locally, so I was pulled up outside, and I was like, well, our booth's pretty big, so I'll just take a couple photos and like set them up in the booth. And then people are walking by and they're like, I've seen that photo online. I've seen that musician post that photo, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, like,
very cool.
So it kind of starts this whole interaction, and then
great
like,
icebreaker.
You know, whether it's like they're there for a tattoo or there because they like music at the same time, it kind of sparks a little bit of interest on both ends. So it, you know, I can shamelessly promote myself and then also promote the tattoo studio or vice versa.
Win-win.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking a minute to talk to us.
Yeah, man, dude, I've been a fan of your guys' brand.
It was great to meet you.
So long, and
if you're ever upstate, just get a hold of us.
Welcome back to the show.
Day 3, and we're still here at the Tattoo Fest. This is an odd backdrop, I know, because we're kind of smushed into this festival. Kind of feel like the redheaded stepchild of this festival, but that's all right. That's what we do. Yesterday was pretty nuts. You got on German television.
Yeah, there was some guy who was getting tattooed by his 7-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they're from some German company. I'm not even really sure. And yeah, it was this like big moment. There was hundreds of people standing around watching the whole thing, getting interviewed by this German television company. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. As you can see, there's pandemonium everywhere. Friggin', I think we got some really good, exciting stuff happening yesterday. You guys went through the crowd. You were giving out cold brew.
Yep.
We met a lot of interesting artists come by our booth and talk to us, which was really fun. This is an interesting event. We've done a lot of events as Death Wish. I'm sure if you've seen our stuff, we've done Comic-Cons, we've done coffee conventions.
It's just so weird to walk down the aisle and every booth somebody's getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Every single booth. So what we did is we loaded up our cart with a chest full of cold brew coffee and handed out coffee to pretty much the whole festival. It was pretty nuts. We got rid of it really, really quick.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's gonna do well down the way. This is the last day. I know we're gonna need to caffeinate a lot more people. We're hopefully gonna be able to talk to a couple of the artists, but it is a little bit of a touch and go scenario. We want to be able to talk to some of these artists, but they are all busy.
Yeah,
and I don't want to bother.
They're here to work, like
yeah,
us.
Exactly. So at the very least, maybe we'll be able to get some of them on a future show. But as always, we want to give you a little taste of what it's like to be in an event with Death Wish, like we're doing right now. And
tastes like coffee.
Tastes like coffee.
It's strong coffee. Finally,
we went out to strongest coffee.
Stop, Jeff. We went out to breakfast this morning. We all chugged coffee, and it did nothing to us.
Yeah, it was like brown water. It's ridiculous.
I feel like I have a calloused soul.
I'm gonna be cracking open a Nitro Brew myself pretty soon. But we'll see what today brings. Hopefully, we're gonna have a good one, and we'll give you a full recap of everything when we get back to HQ.
Cheers.
We now return to Fueled by Deathcast.
All right, guys. We're back at HQ after an incredible weekend in the city yet again. I feel like our second home might be New York City, D-Man.
I agree, Jeff.
Yeah,
and
I'm not too happy about it.
I definitely have some kind of Stockholm syndrome going on because every time I go, I mind it a little bit less. I had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun. We did all of that incredible, crazy stuff at this year's Empire State Tattoo Expo. I love going to something like this because a lot of people think you're just going to go and you're going to see people getting tattooed, which is a lot
everywhere.
of it.
Yeah, that's everywhere, no doubt.
And especially being able to walk down the aisle and see some of the most famous tattoo artists in the world sitting right in front of you, putting an incredible piece on somebody. It's pretty amazing.
And what were they drinking the whole time, Jeff?
Death Wish coffee. We brought down our brand new Nitro Cold Brew, and we handed it out, I think, to every single person that walked through that door. And it was really cool to walk the floor a couple times and just see it everywhere.
It was funny to watch them walk by earlier in the day, get a cup of coffee. Yeah, thanks, man, thanks. And they come back all zooted, just like, yo, you got more of that?
Yeah,
we got that for you, bro.
But we got to see a lot of other really neat stuff, like, the vendors who sell all the different types of inks that you can purchase and use with your tattoo machines. Also, brand new tattoo machines, brand new technology. There was the laser removal there. They had a whole booth where you could literally get tattoos laser removed.
I like that tattooers have embraced that. Like it's not a faux pas thing. It's like, yeah, get that piece of crap old tattoo off and get a new one on for me.
Yeah. A lot of tattooers do cover-ups, but a lot of tattooers actually don't. There are tattoo artists who just will say, nope, I do not do a cover-up because it's tough.
Yeah.
You have to fit something that is a lot of times very dark, and kind of a weird shape into another weird shape and make it completely disappear.
If I were a tattoo artist, I don't know. I feel like I would love that. I would embrace that.
Yeah.
Like you have to. There's a lot of critical thinking, and you got to think around corners.
Yeah.
And I think that would be pretty cool, honestly.
And speaking of thinking around corners, that's what we did all weekend.
Yeah.
When we show up at an event, we rarely know what we're getting into because here at Death Wish Coffee, we are always about pushing the envelope and trying something brand new. That's why last year we went to some Comic-Cons, and this year we've been to Walker Stalker and now a Tattoo Fest, and we do coffee conventions as well. And even if you're looking on the website or you're talking with the promoters, you never really know what you're getting into.
And a lot of these expos and conventions that we go to, it's the first time we're going out to them.
Yes, and this was the absolute first time we were there.
And we don't even know if you're going to have a power strip. It gets really tricky.
Yeah, power was a little tricky because we were brewing hot coffee as well.
But we always figure out away.
Yes.
And that's the thing. You have to adapt or die. And that's what we did there. We adapted, and it was great. We had a blast. Everybody had Death Wish coffee in their hand.
Yeah, we made a lot of new friends, including AC Slade was there, which was really rad. We met him and gave him some coffee. But I mean, a lot of new friends, a lot of new people who really came up to us after the fact and were like, we really enjoy your product, which was really fun. We had a lot of freebies to give away too. We came out last year, I don't know if you saw, but we came out with a Coffee and Comics t-shirt. I wear it sometimes on the podcast. And we took that idea and modified it for this, and we came out with stickers that said Coffee and Tattoos, and those were a hit. I saw a lot of the tattoo artists putting them on like their travel cases or on like their little stations, and I thought that was really cool. So all in all, it was a good time. And then we ended with some of the most fun I've ever had.
I feel like I got to ride on a dragon. That's how cool that was. Going to Google is what we're talking. We are talking about.
Oh yes, we're talking about going to Google.
I didn't know if I was jumping the gun there.
No, we basically double dipped going down to the city. We did the Tattoo Expo, and then we stayed an extra day, and on Monday we got to tour the Google offices, the Google campus down in New York City, which is actually 3 separate buildings, and it is a humongous area, 6,000 employees, and they took us all around, showed us all the inner workings of Google and the internet, and they invited us on stage at their awesome little like studio area and asked us some questions about basically Death Wish's origins, and that was a lot of fun to talk about the early days of Death Wish into what we're doing now, like with the podcast and Grind It Out and all those types of things, and that will be available very soon from Talks at Google on YouTube, and we'll let you all know about that. But I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's rock walls and cafeterias everywhere you go. That you can make coffee or have coffee made for you.
Yeah,
and all these weird little, like, for example, every office had a name. It was named, like, one level was all movies, right?
And then some were rock stars, some were TV shows, some were football teams. It was a lot of fun.
They had everything, man.
It
was insane.
We learned a lot too, because I mean, you get to see the inner workings of something like that. You get to learn how a business that big actually functions, and it's not just Google. You have to remember, YouTube is housed in there as well, and we got to see some of their offices, and they have a brand new YouTube space which is there, so partners of YouTube can go and actually web design right at YouTube, which is an incredible idea. And hopefully we'll be doing that in the future. And it was just, again, a whirlwind adventure that we wanted to show you guys a little bit of with this mini episode, and we hope you got to come on our adventure with us, and we've got more. We're gonna hit the road again probably very soon.
Every damn day.
Yeah. Someday we'll learn to sleep. It's very hard when you work for the world's strongest coffee company.
Why sleep when you got coffee?
Exactly.
Nobody has any fun sleeping anyways. Nobody wakes up and goes, woo, that was it, unfulfilled.
That was the most fun sleep ever.
Screw that. Yeah, drink more coffee, have more fun.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for listening.
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Death Wish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.